This is one of the cleanest Land Cruisers in the United States. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Texas Squeegee here, back in the Texas Tint Masters channel. Now, today we have this Land Cruiser limited edition that was brought into the Texas Tint Masters Camp of Champions. Now, the guy found this in Japan. It was during an auction, right? He put the highest bid, took the vehicle home, had it shipped over to the US here in Houston, Texas, and it landed itself over in our shop. Now, I used to have a Land Cruiser like this. Mine was an 89. This one is a 92, so it's the FJ80 for all of the Land Cruiser enthusiasts. Now, one of the things I found really impressive with this one was a few of the features and gadgets that it had. For example, this one had a compass and it has an altitude meter that the American version didn't have when I bought that one, but this one does. The other thing that this one has is really, really cool is the inline 6 diesel turbo. The American version had the inline 6 gasoline engine, so a few differences there. Does it make a difference in the drive? I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But this is one of the cleanest Land Cruisers I have ever seen, and I could not be more excited to do the work on this one. Now, because this was such a great condition car, we want to keep it that way. This was a car that was built to last, so we need to put a product that was built to last and perform to complement the Land Cruiser. So what do? We went with XPEL's XR Plus Nano Ceramic Tint. It's one of the highest performing ceramic tints in the world today. That's what we put on this one. Now, how does it look like? How does it feel like? Let's go show you real quick. Okay, so now that we're driving it out on the road, this is a right-hand drive vehicle. So the first time driving it, it felt a little weird, almost like you're wearing shoes the opposite way. And I've never been driving this close to a ditch or a sidewalk, so this was a little different, but unique experience in itself. Now, this one is a super clean Land Cruiser. The AC works really well, surprisingly, even after 30 years, it's still working pretty good. But now that we have the ceramic tint full all the way packaged, it's got the doors, rears, the full front windshield. It is designed now to keep the cab a whole lot cooler because there's less of the sun's energy getting through from the cab. Now, you see right up here, this is a sunroof. Something that we did different in the sunroofs that we don't normally do, but we did it on this one because it was a recommendation that I made to the owner and he accepted it, was putting a reflective metallic film, because the idea is ceramic tint blocks out heat by absorbing it and keeping it at the glass. It doesn't draw heat into the car like some people think. It just absorbs it at the glass rather than getting through. Reflective tint or metallic tint is designed to reflect the energy back out rather than keeping it at the glass. So that's why we decided to do that on the sunroof. He wanted the top performing best tint. For that one, we went with a tint that's not traditionally automotive. It's an architectural film. It's called Land 7. It's a reflective film. We put it on the, windshield wipers are coming on when I'm trying to turn on the directionals. Come on. You know, one thing I find, it's a little tricky to find my spot in the road because I keep wanting to go that way, but if I do, I'm gonna hit a pole. Now, one of the challenges with tinting this particular vehicle is we typically do computer cut tint at the shop. Obviously, this one being an older vehicle, the database doesn't go back that far. So I had to bring out the old artist's hand to come and do this one. So one of the challenges was to cut the tint on the door without actually cutting anything here, and I didn't cut it on the glass. What I did is I created a template off of this, and then I put it on the peel board and I traced over it. Then I put that on the inside of the glass. Now, if you're a Toyota, or if you're an antique Toyota enthusiast, you might recognize this shooting style, which I'm paying homage to Jonathan Ward of Icon 4x4. He was one of the channels that I looked at a lot when I first started getting into Toyotas, and I'm a huge fan of their work over there. The way that they restore some of these Land Cruisers and what they do to them, like genuinely rebuilding the entire truck, even though they're old, and it's an old frame and an old chassis, but what they do is they do bumper to bumper full restoration, full resto mod. I mean, they're some of the coolest vehicles. I would love to own one day, but driving this has been quite the experience. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and not many vehicles get me excited, but this was one. When I saw it come in the door, I was like, brings out the scientist in the Texas Squeegee. Well, that was it. One of the cleanest Land Cruisers you'll ever see. And it happened to be here, right here in Houston, Texas at Texas Tint Masters with the Texas Squeegee. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Squeegee that.